Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here for the launch of the Emotional Innovation Lab. I'm Vincent Wiggins, and I'm here with my colleague, my friend, my co-author, Penny Payton.
Morning,
Penny,
Vincent.
good morning.
This is our intro video, and we just want to start out each, we're going to do this once a month, and we're going to start out each one with just a moment where we set aside time to kind of collect ourselves before we get into the lab. So, kind of before you open the door to the lab, take a piece of paper or your phone and just kind of write out some things that are weighing on your mind. Maybe you've been ruminating about something, you've just had something that happened before you stepped in. Write anything down that comes up so you can kind of set it aside for the moment. And that way we come into the space each time with some calm energy, kind of ready to start the lab. This will be like putting your safety goggles on in the lab, but just write that down and kind of just get it out of your way so we can start with what we want to work on. Next, Vincent.
I was just giving them a little time to write it down, Penny.
Oh, sorry.
That's
We'll be quiet.
So as we said, this is a space that's safe for us to just understand what is needed. Just to give a little background about myself, I'm an educator. I work in higher ed, and I have a background in adult education and instructional technology. And I really understand the importance of emotional awareness, especially now. So really, this work started when Penny and I came together to work to write Consciousnesses Under the Rubble because we saw the stress of daily life, and this was years ago, and just those unexpected events that really triggers us in different ways, and especially those lived life experiences. So what we're trying to do is be more intentional, identifying emotional awareness and how we can create those spaces really to talk about it. And so what I love about this is the innovation lab, emotional innovation lab, is providing that space for us to do some of this work in a more intentional way. Penny, would you like to share a little bit more about yourself?
Well, I started this journey about, well, in 2012. And it was a long story, but I've actually told that story. So in a book, actually, but that's beside the point. The reason I want to talk about this and what fascinates me is the story that I went through to write the book was about reconnecting. And I didn't realize that for over half a century, I was very disconnected. And by when I say disconnected, I mean disconnected internally. I was disconnected from myself. I was very externally focused. I didn't focus inward. I thought I had the false belief that we are self-aware because we spend all our time with ourselves, but we're not. I found that I wasn't very self-aware. So this fascinates me as a method of reconnecting. And when you reconnect, you reconnect with your empathy, your intuition. You get out of your subconscious when you start learning how to manage your subconscious, and you reconnect with humanity, which is something I think that is really important right now. And there's a lot of people that don't understand how the behavior of others even comes into play. And I think that this disconnect piece is really important in understanding so we can understand how that works with other people. Um, so that's why I am very excited about doing this. I think being able to speak openly and honestly about how emotions work and the benefits of emotions, benefits of using your emotions kind of a GPS through life, and how to build on your emotional self-awareness and become even stronger emotionally. This is what I hope to bring into this lab.
That is great, Penny. I really think that you captured it all. So really thinking about part of why we thought about emotional innovation lab was to have that space, creating that space, and understand how we're working together and being intentional about it. So, Penny, do you want to share a little bit more of what to expect when we're in the lab, or?
Well, I think what we're going to start with is just some concepts. My journey has kind of taken me, I did a lot of things on my own before people were talking too much about trauma and triggers and emotional self-awareness. And for some reason, I didn't find the assets that are out there now. But because I had to do so much deep digging in on my own, I kind of came up with some different thought processes about how emotions work and how the developing of emotions create more stability. So we kind of have some guidelines about how emotions progress, but we're going to start with just the basic understanding of emotions and why they're so important and how we got to the point that we're disconnected from ourselves. We want to really understand why that disconnect happens. And a lot of that comes within that understanding. A lot of things come in like guilt and shame and blame and some, hidden anger and fear. So we want to be able to kind of break those things down and what they actually represent without really getting into the meat of the matter, but helping you get into the heart of it. So we're not counselors or trying to coach through this. We can use some of these examples that people bring in to work through these. Dr. Gabor is really excellent at that. So hopefully we can mirror something like that. So it's going to just be a fun, safe space where people can come in to learn more about why people are talking about emotions now, because finally, thank goodness, they are starting to talk about them. What are your thoughts, Vincent?
I totally agree. So I just invite people to come in, join, whether you're trying to better understand yourself or you just want to hear and be a part of this informal, safe space, because that's what it is. It's judge free. Please think about joining us because we think it is something that's much needed, especially now. And I think Penny just captured what that is. So come join us. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about different things that might just rise up in our mind that we want to discuss in this space and really figure out how to be new at approaching emotional awareness. And whether it's something that happened yesterday or 3 years ago and still bothering you, this is a space for it to come and do it.
Love it. Love it.
So
So we're
join us. When, Penny?
first Saturdays.
Yes, first Saturdays of each month. So please join us and we will be sending out more information about that. And in the meantime, if you want to check out our website to find out more information on what we've already done and help you get a better understanding what we talked about a little bit today, visit us at unpackingemotionalbaggage.com. There you will find a very good resources of things to further understand this work that we're trying to be more intentional in doing.
Excellent.
You have anything you want to say before we close out and see people on Saturday?
No, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you, Penny. Look forward to this work and look forward to seeing more people join us in this space. Have a
Awesome.
good one.
All right.